The latest. Thank you for your love and support. I appreciate you all. As Africans, we need to make sure we stand on our feet to fight against imperialism. And if we are also voicing now to the world the things these people are doing to us and we are not happy about, we also need to distance ourselves from everything of these people, even if we are not the ones that began anything. According to reports, there is a U.S. military base in Ghana International Airport, and they are calling for the shutdown of this international airport. According to Kwesi Pratt, this airport that has been turned into U.S. military base, that base must be shut down immediately. And the president of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama, must make sure he washes his hands away from anything that has to do with the United States of America by not allowing Ghana to be a place that the United States of America will establish a base to be used against other people, especially not people from Africa or anywhere in the world, because the U.S. aggression is too much and it must be stopped. Even though, according to him, this agreement or this military base wasn't started at the era of John Dramani Mahama, but now he is the president and he has to make sure that this base in Ghana is totally shut down. And he's also calling for us all to support Venezuela against what the United States of America is doing. Like some presidents are saying, if we all should keep quiet and don't rise against it. Today it is Venezuela. Tomorrow nobody knows which other country will be next. Especially when it comes to us in Africa, we are so vulnerable. So we need to rise against this injustice that the United States of America is doing, and that the international community and every other person must rise against what is happening in Venezuela.
The government of Ghana has a special responsibility in this matter. And the government of Ghana has a special responsibility in this matter because it has allowed the establishment of a forward operating base of the U.S. Army in Ghana. At least the government of Ghana needs to send a clear message that the territory of Ghana would not be used in any aggression against any country in the world, especially in West Africa. That is a responsibility the people of Ghana must demand on their government. We have to make it clear to the Mahama administration that we would not tolerate the misuse of Ghanaian territory for aggression in any part of the world, and that as quickly as possible, the forward operating base of the U.S. Army, which was established in Ghana under the Akufo-Addo regime, should be dismantled as quickly as possible. That is a legitimate demand that we have to make. Right now, it's important for all forces of progress, all democratic forces around the world, to raise their voices and raise placards in protest against this reckless adventure of the United States in Venezuela. It must be stopped, and it must be stopped through the collective action of progressive forces around the world. We cannot tolerate this. Look, under a false pretext, a pretext provided by the former Prime Minister of the UK, Tony Blair, that Iraq was building weapons of mass destruction and so on. The US invaded Iraq. At the end of the day, 2 million Iraqis were killed. No weapon of mass destruction was found. 2 million Iraqis were killed. 2 million. If an African government had made an intervention in another country, leading to the death of even 100 people, he would be facing the International Criminal Court. If any African leader had behaved the way Tony Blair of Britain behaved, he would have been before the International Criminal Court. The time has come to build a just world, and a just world can only be one in which all citizens are treated equally, regardless of the countries they come from and regardless of the positions they hold. This U.S. atrocity, this U.S. behavior, aggressive, unjustified behavior, must be condemned in the strongest possible terms, and we must declare our full solidarity with the government and people of Venezuela.
All right, thank you so much.
Because there's no justification whatsoever for this. Here is the U.S. talking about drug smuggling and so on. And these allegations have been denied. As we speak, the U.S. has not been able to provide any proof of the allegations it has made. But if you go into recent history, which is the country in the world which has been engaged in narcotic trade for political purposes? It is the U.S. government. The Contra affair. The Contra affair, where the U.S. decided to use drugs to raise money, to raise resources, to arm rebels in South America, to overthrow progressive governments. Well documented, the evidence is there. When the Contra affair broke out, would it have been legitimate or legal for any country to launch military aggression against the U.S.? Because there was evidence, clear evidence, of U.S. involvement in narcotics, U.S. government involvement in the spread of narcotics and so on. You understand? But you see, the U.S. has miscalculated again, and it's miscalculating all the time. Quite apart from the strike it launched on Nigeria on Christmas Day, it has also blatantly threatened to attack Iran, claiming that demonstrators are being shot at, and that the U.S. will be intervening in Iran on behalf of the demonstrators. What effrontery, what arrogance. What effrontery, what arrogance. Who intervened in the United States when black people were being shot by the police? Who has intervened in the United States to stop the activities of the Ku Klux Klan? Who has intervened in the United States to stop the erection of a social order in which black people, Chicanos, Latinos, and so on, have become perpetual victims of racism and so on? Who is intervening there? Who is intervening in the United States when Christian fundamentalists are wreaking havoc on non-Christian communities and so on? Who is intervening in the United States? Look, what the United States is doing is likely to plunge this world into unprecedented violence, the consequences of which will be grim for everybody, including us. And it is time for all of us, for all progressive forces around the world, for all truly independent governments to take a clear stand against this U.S. aggression against Venezuela and its threatened aggression against Iran, and its efforts to destabilize Nigeria.
That this war, if care is not taken, or what is happening in Venezuela, if care is not taken, is going to escalate. And we need to bring peace in this world. And the peace we must fight, that everybody must be respected, regardless of your strength, your economic strength, your color, or whatever. You must be respected so that together we can have peace. And people must also learn to allow other people to have access to their resources. What is on the land of another person isn't yours. So you cannot go there with force to claim what belongs to other people. So we all as Africans, we need to rise up united. A lot of us are excited when we heard that this happened in Venezuela as Africans. And I don't think that you, an African that is fighting for liberation, should be excited over what happened in Venezuela, because today is Venezuela, Tomorrow it could be you, the one that is jubilating. So as Africans, we need to always stand by the truth and fight against this, because what is happening is also a new form of colonization, trying to colonize other people in this modern world. And if we don't stop it, what we are seeing in Africa, worse will happen to us. And like he said, these people must leave. They must make sure that they do away or dismantle this US base, just like Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso kicked them out. The president of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama, must do same. We cannot allow these people to be on the soil of Ghana, and these people can be used against us in Africa. We saw what happened in Nigeria. Tomorrow to be another country. Anywhere that they think they have their interest, they can use these same bases that they have established in Africa to do whatever they want. So we have to be fighting against any base, any foreign base in Africa to move away. As Africans, we can protect ourselves. We are seeing Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso doing. The reason to which we believe that we can't do it unless they can is because they don't allow us to acquire the equipment that we need to protect ourselves. And it's because we claim they are still our masters and we are worshipping them. And for that matter, we can't do without them. But the day the African will be ready to stand on his feet, like Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso did, anything that we need to protect ourselves, we will get it. Because with all the things that are happening, these activities, we heard the congressman from the United States of America telling the whole world they are sponsoring these people. So if truly the United States of America is looking for peace and wants an end to these activities that are happening, I think the best thing they can do is to dismantle these things by not funding them, and there will be peace in the world. But not for us to be funding them to be causing chaos. Then we get up and say we want to fight against it. How do we fight against people that we have sent to do things on our behalf? And as Africans, we need to always understand that our unity is our strength. If we continue to be divided, it will be easy for them to conquer the African again. We need to unite as Africans, and we need to start seeing ourselves as one people. This is the time. And we have to rise against our leaders who are still holding on to these people having their bases in Africa. This shouldn't be accepted, because in the name of this, the African has also become something to another country. These military bases will be used against that country. So we don't need to create enmity simply because we want to continue to keep these people as our partners. We are grown on our own. After all, the resources they are using to manufacture these things, they are taking them from Africa. So what shows that the African is incapable is because we have allowed ourselves to be controlled by these people. That is the reason to which they determine everything of the African. And we believe that these people coming here are coming to set us free. In which way? As if we don't know that ever since we've been with them, there has never been anything good that came out of it. Like Ama Atedu asks, ever since we know them 500 years ago, look at us. They keep taking and keep taking, yet the African keep losing every blessed day. And we are making it look as if we are rather gaining per the narrative that is spread to us. This is the time that we all must fight against neo-colonialism, the new form of colonization. We are the only ones that can set ourselves free. United we stand, divided we fall. And united we keep standing forever and ever. The greatest enemy of the African is mental slavery. So let's decolonize ourselves from mental slavery. Let's keep sharing to educate our brothers and sisters. Together we make Africa great for ourselves and the next generations that are going to come. So that's the latest around the world. In Africa, West Africa, in Ghana.